morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 939th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni, and that would be me. Traders, these videos are geared to help you understand the analysis behind markets. I have been in this business for 30 plus years now, spent a lot of my time on the floors down in New York City and in Chicago studying. I've worked at back office desks. I know this business very well now, and I spend my nights teaching some tips and tricks to you traders so that you learn the business behind the business yourselves. This should help you become better analysts, and that hopefully will make you better traders. This video is being filmed on November 1st for trading November 2nd. That would be Friday, 2012. So we're filming on Thursday night. As you know, futures trading can be extremely risky and cause substantial financial loss, and I mean substantial financial loss. This is not a game for non-professionals. If you do not have risk capital to lose, you certainly should not be in the futures arena, as it is not suitable for all trading accounts. But if you are a trader and you understand the risks, rock and roll, and let's go with the video for trading on Friday, November 2nd. Traders, just yesterday, I had on this board this very sentence, and I stated the leaders of U.S. indices are starting to turn higher, and the Omni wants us to get long. Now, you know the market's been slightly bearish lately. Omni steps right out, and we put this turnaround arrow. Since that turnaround arrow, we've gone to a full-blown green Omni. The Russell, the Tranny, the Dow. I think that the ES goes. I think that the NASDAQ goes. The whole package looks bullish for one more day at least. What's interesting about last night's video is I stood in front of this camera and said to you, the indices are turning because the reports that are coming out Thursday and Friday are bullish. There'd be no reason why my Omni's turning otherwise, because it sees the news in the charts. The news always comes out in the charts. Fundamentals always come out in the charts first, and we know that word always. This is a fine art. It is not a science. So you live with the mentality that fundamentals always come out in the charts first, and we know that always isn't always, because every now and then something will get past you. But analysis is a great roadmap to tell you what's coming next. I mean, give Omni a round of applause for sniffing out the buy. Not only did it get long yesterday, but the day before it bought the lows in the S&P, and then it did it again today with the Russell. Now, it had a weak trade that got a little jittery on it and got stopped out before the report. That will happen from time to time, but for the most part, analysis and these markets that we study have really come together lately. Analysis working really well. So, back to the board. Leaders of U.S. indices seriously started to turn to the point it's a full-blown green Omni. Then I told you that bonds would be at a do-or-die area, and we talked about top in bonds weeks and weeks ago, and that bonds are hitting my rounding top tool right now, and they give me lots of reason to think they go down. Plus, the OTAP is above bonds, and bonds are starting to come off a little while the indices move higher. Last night's information technically was dead on for trading on Thursday, so hopefully tomorrow will be too. Then we talked about corn topping out about 6 weeks ago, as brave as the day is long, when corn was all the way up near the highs. We talked about a top coming in. Corn has been steadily coming off since, with only a few days up in between. We think corn continues. Then, of course, I won't show you the chart, but there's Apple traders. If you've been following me, Omni called the top in Apple, temporary at least, when it was trading almost near 700, 690, 680, 695, right in that area. Omni started going ding, 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 ding. I brought a series of charts about Apple out to you. I gave you fundamental reasons why we see technical reasons in the chart for Apple to go down. Apple has been breaking down since, and here's what's interesting. Almost all of the other stocks that go up when Apple goes up. When the stock market goes up yesterday, went up, but Apple barely moved. It only went up about a point. It was down 12 points almost every day last week. So Apple is feeling some pain, and the market proves it can go up without Apple. Imagine that. We can go up without Apple. Well, I told you when you guys became the king, the arrows were coming, right? Ba-bing. Well, not only are you getting arrows shot from every direction at you now, Apple, but there are lawsuits coming out of the woodwork because your patents weren't filed properly and you've been using other people's stuff. Oh my goodness, Apple's in some trouble. So hey, whatever that means, it all came out in the charts first. Look, I only report what I see. I'm the reporter. Omni told us about this right when it was breaking news, traders. Another round of applause for Omni on that Apple call. I mean, wow. All right, let's stop wasting time here. LiveWithOscar.com is where you'll find me in my free chat room. So come on down and join me in that chat room, LiveWithOscar.com, where I will show you analysis to prove that bonds are certainly at a do or die area and starting to die. The leaders have turned up, and corn doesn't look so good anymore like we told you 6 weeks ago. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the Dow Jones Transportation Average deemed a leader or the leader of U.S. indices. This exact same chart was put before your eyes last night. I said that we look like now that we're above OTAPA, we'd go higher. Here is the bar that drew in on Thursday. This populated, and look now, above the 200 bar moving average. Above OTAPA, above the 200 bar moving average. That's the leader of U.S. indices. Rock and roll goes the leader, right? So that worked perfectly. Let's continue to dig in. Traders, the transportation average on a weekly bar basis. This very same chart was put before your eyes last night in last night's video. I called this a false breakout of the pennant and said that now we'd go follow the green arrow. Do you know what happened since? We were down here, by the way, when we did the video. Up, 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 and we settled right there at the top of that pennant. We think we get out and follow the green arrow as of tomorrow, Friday, November 2nd. But let's move along. Do not fall in love with the downside. This very same chart, the only thing is I've added this statement, but this chart was put before your eyes last night. I told you to watch out because one of our Omni averages was being tagged, and what else? That this was extremely strong support for a weekly, and that we were right here at the Russell in conjunction with one of my averages, and it should hold. Omni goes long for that reason. Russell holds really well, and we do this, ba-bam, and settle up here. So far, so good on the dailies and the weeklies on that turnaround Omni peg. Let's see what else is going on. Remember this chart in last night's video, traders? This was the bond chart. Now, there was employment news coming out this morning and more coming out on Friday, tomorrow morning. So far, when the news came out this morning, it hit here and dropped and settled there. Now, Thursday's over. We're looking at Friday. Remember, failure at OTAPA all the way across here. We've had a head and shoulders. It had a head test. After the head and shoulders, you had this head test, which now looks like it failed, and here we are coming back to this rounded top, and that's what we're at, end OTAPA right now. This is your bonds 30-year. I think, if you ask me, bonds will continue lower. The news will be good tomorrow morning. Then you have NASDAQ weekly bar. Traders, you Omniacs who spend time at my site, tell me you do not remember this. I know you traders will remember this chart. I was brave. I drew this chart up about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and we put this note here. When the market hits this level, buy that hands down when it hits here. Well, traders, it's exactly what Omni did since we went into that red line. Omni went into buy mode, and look at this thing holding. That is a beautiful support line and a very nice channel on the NASDAQ weekly bar chart. Rock and roll for the analysis and how well it's working with markets lately. Then you have up close and personal emini S&P daily bar chart now for trading on Friday. Quite the hold, yes indeed, of the OTAPA. We're loving it, we're loving it. Not only did it hold OTAPMA, but look at this channel that we're in. Hold, hold, hold. This whole area holds. Here, here, top, top. And it looks like we're racing for that top for tomorrow. Very nice look in the daily bar chart of the emini S&P. Then we go look at a very important indicator, the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. Look at that little wiggle, 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 as I say. A little wiggle in the MACD means a lot. Here's the MACD's wiggle. That's a lot of wiggle for a very slow, meticulous, very slow moving lagging indicator. Gets a wiggle like that, you gotta love it. And then we finally round it off with the rounded top in corn. Traders, for 6 weeks we've been touting the highs in corn we're in. So far so good. Now we are settling below OTAPMA day after day. And look what we just ran into, the infamous rounded top tool. We hit it and we came off. I think that's what happens on Friday as well. Keep your eyes peeled on the corn. So there you have it, traders. My technical reasoning for why we go full-blown green Omni. Now remember this. A stop is your best friend, and never trade without them, because yes, it looks great, it looks rosy, yes, we got lucky, called the lows yesterday, yes, we could be stopped out tomorrow in a flash. Put your stops in. These markets are vicious, but certainly looking for the upside for November 2nd on Friday in our indices. Bonds looking for the downside, corn looking for the downside, and we'll see what we get. Traders, do your own homework. Come on down to livewithoscar.com. Meet me in my free chat room where I will help you out. And don't fall in love with the downside. Seems to be a good motto for trading tomorrow. Traders, that's about it. I'll see you at the site. Don't forget, always keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening. And you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Yes, indeed. Another upside day. Thank you, Tranny. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.